I wanted to quit on YouTube, and I suspect that somewhere along the way you've wanted to quit too, or at least you will. The reality is, if anything was worth doing was easy, everybody would be doing it and succeeding at it. And tonight, I want to talk about 4 mindset shifts that we have got to make together if we hope to make it on YouTube. Hi, I'm Chris, and I'm actually going through what I would call a job transition right now. This is literally my last week working at my job in Michigan. And I kind of knew going into this week that just from a mental mindset capacity that I wouldn't really have it in me to record and produce and edit a whole video this week. So I thought, hey, let's just go live. So if you're joining me live, I want to thank you for being here. And if you're joining me later, then thank you for watching on the replay. And I'm really excited to dive into this content. In fact, if I were to make this a regular video, this would for sure be 4 videos. But since I'm doing this live in this live stream training, you're going to get the whole thing right here, right now. So grab some pen and paper, open up a Word document, notes on your phone, and let's dive into 4 mindset shifts we have to make if we hope to make it on YouTube. Mindset shift number 1, we need to aim towards excellence, not toward perfection. And this is a tough one for me because my default mode is 100%. I want to be perfect. In fact, I am embarrassed to even share this with you, but there's a part of me in my mind where if I don't think I can do it perfect, if I don't believe I can do it right, I'm like, should I even try? You know what? If I can't do it right, I'm not even going to do it. Like, I'm just going to give up right away. And that's the problem with perfection as our goal and our target, because we will never, ever, 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 ever be perfect. Only God is perfect, and we will never be God, right? Although we're continuing to submit our life to him and letting him work in our lives, but we will never be God. And so we need to aim for excellence, not perfection. And here is the key thing here. Excellence is relative to our current level of skills and knowledge. Perfection is an impossible target that we can never hit, but excellence is relative to where we are currently on our journey. What's excellent for me may not be what's excellent for you, because we're at different levels on our journey. But as we increase our skill, as we increase our knowledge, our level of excellence increases with it. And that is the great thing. That is why we need to aim for excellence. I remember when I first started on YouTube, because it wasn't that long ago. It was last July. So I remember at least that far back in my life. But I remember I was setting out, and before I recorded my first video, I took about a week and I did research. I kind of dove in and I said, hey, I want to really figure out what it is I'm trying to accomplish. How do I do this right? You know what I mean? I want to do it right. And so I recorded my first video, and I was going to make a channel all about entertainment. I was going to just talk about entertainment. And my first video was all about how I miss movie theaters. And Tenet was coming out within like the next week. And I was devastated because theaters in Michigan were still closed and I wasn't going to be able to see it. And even in that first video, I pivoted halfway through and I started talking about the loss and grief that we've all experienced in 2020. And after I posted that video, I realized, oh my goodness, I can't just talk about entertainment. I have to do something more and do something bigger. And I started making videos in a different vein, personal growth and spiritual growth. And the reality is I didn't know exactly what I was trying to do. If I had waited until I knew the perfect thing to do for my channel, exactly what I wanted to do, I never would have made my second video. In fact, I'm still not sure what I want to do on my channel. The past month, I've been making content to help YouTube creators like you who are watching this right now. And the reality is, you know what? Eventually, at some point, a lot of this kind of content is going to move over to our TrueFam Media YouTube channel, which there's no content on right now, but I did put the link in the description if you want to get a head start and subscribe to that channel now to be among the first, so you don't miss that content when I start posting stuff over there with our TrueFam Media team. But my channel could become something else. But I'm not waiting until I have it all figured out, until I've got the perfect idea to take action. I'm aiming towards excellence. And that's relative to what I am right now, to my current skill level, to my current vision, to my current level of knowledge. So the first thing with the first mindset shift we're going to make together is we're going to aim towards excellence, not perfection. The second shift we're going to make, we're going to compete against ourselves, not against others. Come on, someone needs to write that down. We're going to compete against ourselves, not against others. My goodness, like we have this bad habit of looking at other people's content, other people's channels, other people's numbers, and thinking, man, why are they experiencing more success than I'm experiencing? Why are they doing so well? Why is their content so good and mine is not good, right? Like that is a real problem. It's a real trap that we fall into. And we know, we've heard the quote by Tim Hiller that says, don't compare your beginning to somebody else's middle, because that's what we do. We look at someone who's been doing this for a long time and we're like, man, they're killing it. And I'm over here just like struggling along. And it's such a challenge for us sometime. And I'm in an accountability group, what I call my TrueFam accountability group, with a couple of incredible creators. And every single one of them is creating just such amazing content. And I love being able to meet with them. We've been meeting together pretty much every week for several months just to encourage each other, help each other make better videos. In fact, we love it doing it so much that's why we're starting TrueFam Media, so we can bring you into this and help you get better, just like we've been doing. And I'll talk more about what we're doing with TrueFam Media in our live training that's going to be on February 20th. But I look at the content these guys are making, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, they're all so incredible. Every single one of them. Tiffany is like so personable and just like really relating to people in a way that I can't even imagine. It's so authentic. And Neat is bringing like this level of skill that's so beyond anything I've ever even thought about creating. Erica's bringing this relational component and this creativity. And I'm over here like, I could never do what you do. And I have to remind myself, I'm not called to do what you're doing. I shouldn't be trying to live up to the level of Neat. I should be trying to live up to the level that God has called and created me to live up to, right? And when we compare ourselves to other people, like we fall into these traps, man. We fall into this mental disparity, right? You've heard it said, comparison is the thief of joy. And that is so true. As long as we're comparing ourselves to somebody else's success and somebody else's quality, we are robbing ourselves of joy. We're robbing ourselves of the fulfillment and accomplishment. I believe creating videos should be something that is fun and enjoyable. That's why I do it. I love creating content, and the fact that my content has the potential to help somebody and add value to somebody else, that fills me up. But when I start comparing myself to somebody else's journey, all of a sudden this isn't fun anymore. It becomes a pain. It becomes a drudgery and a source of insecurity. Don't let what you're doing on YouTube become a source of insecurity. Let it be something you're doing filled with purpose, vision, and hope. And man, come on, compete with yourself, not against others. We need to look back on our first video, whether it was a month ago or 6 months ago, and we need to ask, what am I doing now? Is what I'm releasing now better than what I was doing then? Praise God, rejoice, celebrate in that. You're not competing with anybody else. You're competing with yourself. I need to do what God has called me to do, not replicate what God has called somebody else to do. So, number one, we talked about it, right? We need for excellence, not perfectionism. The second shift that we need to make in our mindset is to compete against ourselves, not against others. And the third shift that I need you to make with me tonight is amplify voices that build you up, not voices that tear you down. Amplify voices that build you up, not voices that tear you down. In life, there's always going to be positive and negative voices. That's just the reality of it. And our default mode most of the time is to zoom in, to tune into those negative voices and tune out the positive voices. And we blow up those negative voices, right? Even before I started recording this live stream, I looked and on the page, there was like 6 likes and 1 dislike. And you know what? The instinct is like, oh, who is this person? Why is someone disliking my video before I've even said anything? Am I hated that much? And it's so easy to focus it on the one dislike, the one negative voice that you might even miss the 6, 7, 8, 9 Positive voices. Most of the time, the positive voices outweigh, there's far more of them than the negative voices, but we tend to amplify the wrong voices. And if you're going to succeed on YouTube, you have to learn to amplify the right voices, the positive voices, the helpful voices, and be quiet, silence the negative voices. Come on, man. We tend to amplify and replay the negative voices. Stop doing that. Put hope on replay in your mind. Put the word of God on replay in your mind. Stop replaying angry, negative, hurtful voices in your life. Oh, this is bigger than YouTube. Oh my goodness. This is life lessons dropping in this training today. Someone needs to write that down. Don't replay the negative voices in your life. Man, in YouTube, there's always going to be some critical voices, probably in your life. If not now, then in the future. And we need to amplify the positive ones. I remember 3 months ago, there was a lot of voices, mostly from people that I actually know in my life that I would have thought would have been an encouragement and a source of hope, and they weren't. And it was really challenging. And if I'm being transparent, I wanted to give up. I was on the verge of giving up on YouTube because it just is like, oh my goodness, like this doesn't even matter. Everyone hates what I'm doing. But thankfully, I had intentionally created a community among Christian creators that helped encourage me and give me the right mindset to focus on. I focus on the voices of my TrueFam accountability group. Man, I am so grateful for those voices of encouragement and consistent positivity in my life. I'm grateful for creators and leaders like Solomon Quinash, who just like one day connected with me out of the blue and just wanted to chat and speak life into me and encourage me. That week was a week that I was feeling a little bit of despair. I was feeling down, but that phone call, that moment of encouragement uplifted me and gave me strength and motivation to carry on. I'm thankful for creators and pastors like Jeremy Skinner, who and early on in this journey was connected with me in the comments and just encouraging me and made me feel like, you know what, maybe this is something I can do. We need each other in this life. We need to hold on and create those positive voices in our lives. That with TrueFam Media, that is something we are hoping to do. We want to create a place of positivity where you can come and find encouragement and motivation to keep creating content, to find the community to cheer you on in this YouTube journey, because you're making content that matters. But if you lose motivation, if you lose heart, then it doesn't matter how good your content is if you get discouraged and give up. So don't give up. Okay, we've looked at 3 mindset shifts we need to make. We're going to look at one more. The first 3: aim toward excellence, not perfectionism. Compete against yourself, not others. Amplify voices that build you up, not tear you down. Number 4, focus on people, not numbers. I'm going to say that again. Focus on people, not numbers. You know, most of the time, the voices and training that's out there, or the YouTube growth strategy, it's all about getting huge numbers. How do I blow up? How do I get thousands and thousands and thousands of views and people to watch my channel? How do I get more subscribers? And that's what the focus is on. And look, I'm not against big numbers. I really want you to blow up. I want you to have big numbers. I want thousands and thousands of people to view your videos and subscribe to your channel, not because I want you to have success or fame or popularity. It's because I believe in your content. I believe that God has called you to create, and I want people to benefit from the calling of God on your life, the value and the message that God has given you to communicate to the world. I want people to experience that you have a message of life transformation, and I want that message to get out into the world. But if you're focused on numbers and you forget about people, you're missing the whole point. So don't you dare focus on getting these massive numbers, so much so that you completely miss the mark and forget about the people that God has put into your sphere of influence right now. And I know that sometimes we can get discouraged. We can get discouraged because it can feel like, oh man, no one watched that video, or that video had less views than the last one. And it can feel kind of like, man, why am I even doing this? But I want to challenge you right now that it's really about depth of influence, not width of influence. Meaning, it's not about how far and how wide and how big your numbers are, but how great is your influence with the crowd and the people that God has brought into your life today, right now, right? I mean, depth of influence to me is so much more powerful than width of influence. And the reality is most of us deal with this thing called imposter syndrome, right? Like, right now, I'm talking to you, and I know some of you in the live chat, some of you who are watching this video, you have a larger subscriber count than I do. And the reality is, maybe we should switch places, right? Imposter syndrome says, well, maybe I should bring you onto the stream and you should be teaching me how to not give up on YouTube because you're killing it. You're doing better than me. You're more popular than me. The numbers are telling me that you're the one who should be doing this training. But you know what? I'm not going to listen to imposter syndrome because I know this key truth. My influence, your influence is not limited by your subscriber count. Somebody needs to write that down. Come in closer. Your influence is not limited by your subscriber count, right? The anointing and calling of God that He has placed on your life is not limited by the numbers on your YouTube channel, okay? Listen, it doesn't matter if you have 1 subscriber or 1,000,000 subscribers. God can use you to have a deep influence and deep impact on someone's life, and that's what we need to focus on. Look at the people who've commented on our YouTube channel. Has there been stories? Has there been people who have been impacted by your videos? That focus on that. Go deeper with that. How can you add value and continue to add value to them? I believe that depth of influence will eventually lead to a width of influence. You know, Luke 16:10 tells us those who are faithful with the very small, with the little, they'll be faithful with much. So don't be discouraged because you're not growing as fast as you can, as you feel like you should be. But focus on the depth. Focus on what God has brought you and be faithful in that. And trust that, you know what, if it blows up, if it grows, then man, you'll be faithful in that too. But don't try to go wide before you go deep. I think about Jesus, right? Now, Jesus had width. Obviously, Jesus had crowds following him, but he always, always, always took time to focus on the 12. Jesus took time to go deep. And I think the truth is, if Jesus had not gone deep, everything that he had done, everything that he came to earth to do, if he hadn't focused on the 12, if he hadn't poured into those who ended up in the upper room on the day of Pentecost, those 120, if Jesus hadn't gone deep, then the mission he came to do would not have had sustainability, and God would have had to start over and come up with a whole new plan. And you and I, we're not above Jesus. We have to go deep. We have to go deep before we go wide. So I want you to focus on people, not numbers. We need to make these mindset shifts today if we want to make it on YouTube. And I believe that you can and you will make it on YouTube. Again, I believe that God has placed a calling on your life. You're called to create content that matters. You're called to make a difference in people's life. It doesn't matter if your audience is hundreds of thousands or your audience is tens or even ones. It doesn't matter. Pay attention, follow the Lord, create the content that you are called to create, and don't give up. Somebody write that in the chat. Don't give up. As a matter of fact, if you're in the chat or if you're watching this on the replay, let me know in the comments what is one thing that has kept you motivated when you've felt like giving up. And if I look in the comments here and I see some of them in the chat here, I'll be honest, I haven't read what you guys have been posting because I've been focused, but I'm gonna read through here. And if you have anything that you want to say, anything that you will encourage, let's turn this video in the comment section and the chat into a place to motivate each other right now. What's something that has kept you motivated? And while you guys are typing that, I just want to share with you a little more details about our TrueFam Media. Our first live training, completely free, is going to be on February 20th at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And our whole team is so excited to share with you about what we're doing at TrueFam. And also in that training, we're going to dive deep into why creativity really matters on YouTube. I mean, what's the big deal? Why does it matter? How can you cultivate it and be creative if you're not a creative person? You know, we're going to answer these questions. We're going to go more. We're going to dive deeper into that subject. And the first of 3 trainings spread out over the next few months. And we're so excited just to get TrueFam Media off the ground and let you in on the secret, let you in on what we're working towards. We believe that we have something that is going to be valuable to you, and we can't wait to go on this journey and continue growing together. I also want to mention that TrueFam Media, Tiffany Bird Harrison, myself, and a few other incredible creators are going to be on Clubhouse Monday night, February 1st at 6 p.m. So if you're on Clubhouse, there's a link in the description for that. And please check that out. Come hang out with us. We're going to talk about why you need big YouTuber energy. I mean, what does that even mean, right? Is that term big YouTuber energy as prideful and conceited as it sounds? We're going to go into that and more and why you need it Monday night. So click on the link in the description and hang out with us on Clubhouse. And hey, there's a link for the free training as well. We need you just to register for that, and you will receive a link in your email for that free training when it gets closer to February 20th. And we look forward to hanging out with you. My goodness, I see lots of don't give ups in the chat. Let's see. John Stalling said, staying focused on my purpose and a deep understanding of my why. John, yes, I love your content. I love the videos that you're making. It's an encouragement to me, and knowing your why is so important. If you don't know your why, then it's harder to give up. It's easier to let the negative voices in when you're not focused on what you're trying to accomplish and the purpose that God has given to you. My goodness. Yes, yes, yes. This is good. People who aren't on Clubhouse, boo Clubhouse. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. Engineered by God said the idea that something you say in your videos can really help at least one person. Yes, that is focusing on people, not on numbers. I love this. This is wonderful. I look forward to reading more of this in the comment section, more motivation, more things that you're doing. I want to thank you for joining me live tonight for this, my first time doing a live stream training. I really loved having you guys here. And I can't wait to do more of these and continue to connect with you on a deeper level over the next few days, weeks, months, and years. I'm excited just to go on this journey with you. So that's going to be it for tonight. Give this video a like on your way out. Let me know in the comments section. Subscribe for more content like this. And you know what? I will see you guys in the next video. God bless you and good night.